Hi guys, welcome to Game Week Talks, and this episode we're going to be talking about the reaction to the Game Week 2. And Game Week 2 was filled with lots of exciting moments and games, and we are going to talk about the biggest game of the weekend, which is Chelsea versus Liverpool. And we have Arvind and Varun representing the Liverpool team, and we have Anirudh who's part of the Game Week Talks, and he's going to represent Chelsea. So, guys, what do you think about the match? Was it fair? Was it a fair result? 2-0. Give your opinions. Anyone?
It's like we did not have a bad game defensively. We had a good shape throughout the game. It's not that they unraveled us. They cut through our defense left and right. Although they tried to do that in the second half. In the first half, it was a fair game. It was going, it was a 50-50 game. Anyone could have gotten the game. Anyone could have won the game. And obviously, the red card changed the whole game and whole game for us. And Liverpool having their quality, they didn't have to have a second invitation to open us up with the first goal. And Mane was brilliant, and he got his 2 goals in the game, which arguably I could say one was gifted, and it is. I mean, there is no argument. It is one was gifted. It is an assist to Kepa. So yes, so I thought I had few positives going forward, that Chelsea had a defensive shape to it, but going forward we didn't have much to give. And that was very evident. To be entirely honest, the creative output with our midfield, all the 3 midfield players, we didn't have any creativity going forward. The only creativity or only thing that came off Chelsea was Werner running forward and Havertz running forward, or lone runner. We didn't have any link-up play going.
And the funny part is you're talking about there's no creativity, but you have one of the most creative talents in the Premier League in your team, and he's playing up front with Werner.
Right. So yeah,
he's playing in the right wing. There's no proper shape to your team, and there is no proper formation that Lampard has identified at the moment. So, do you think Lampard is just playing around and finding out the proper formation at the moment?
I mean, I get that criticism. I get that point of view, but I feel Lampard is. This is not Chelsea's strongest 11 yet. We have players in the bench. We could possibly argue saying Hudson-Odoi could have started the game. But even if Hudson had started the game, that could have changed the defensive formation, and Havertz could have played in the number 10 role. What I felt was Lampard doesn't trust Hudson enough to start the game for some reason. I would argue saying he is trying to ease him into the game. He had a lot of starts under Sarri, but not much in the Lampard era. But I think that was the only thing. That's what I told. We didn't have enough creativity going forward. We had a lot of defensive shape, but nothing to go forward. We didn't have creativity. And I also get it. Havertz should have started number 10, but he tried something again. But he was a little bit better from what he played in the Brighton. But yes, I get that. And I take that.
Yeah, and the Liverpool fans here. So, do you guys, when you saw the team sheet, the Chelsea's team sheet, were you scared for your defense? Were you scared about their attack? So, or you guys were comfortable? Yeah, we can win. We are Liverpool. So, what was your mindset while seeing the starting lineup of Chelsea?
So, Srini, the perspective here, when we saw the lineup, both the lineups, for me personally, I felt Werner was a mismatch for Fabinho, because Fabinho playing as a centre half is something we are not used to. And defensively, he's good, but there are at times where he has made a lot of errors as well. So, compared to Gomez and Matip, who are always been a backup for each other, Fabinho playing that role, I was a little skeptical about it. So in the beginning, I thought it was a mismatch, because Werner always, he starts from the left and he moves forward, and his pace is, no one can match his pace, and he's too good. So I felt it was a complete mismatch. But I think as the game progressed, Fabinho eased into his role. And probably when he went back home, he took out his key wallet and won it out of his pocket.
Right. So exactly, like Fabinho was immense. I didn't think that he will adjust to that position so much. And whenever Werner had the ball, Fabinho was on him. Werner couldn't get past Fabinho at all. Varun, like, what did you feel when you see that, when you saw that Fabinho playing that way, like where you're like,
Yeah,
okay, we have a defender, right?
yeah, exactly. Like AG said, I thought it was a little bit of a mismatch at first because Fabinho does not play center back, and Werner being new to the Premier League, and we all know how Werner plays. He's very quick,
Yeah,
and he can make
yeah,
very intelligent runs, and he can get past the back four. That was the main threat, and so we didn't want to be caught out. So, but still, Fabinho did a brilliant job, and especially in the second half, keeping that clean sheet was such a big thing for Liverpool because after
Right.
the
exactly.
scare at Leeds,
Mm.
after the scare at Leeds was a big thing because Leeds made a statement.
Right.
So then and now, and with Matip being out and Fabinho coming in at his position
Mm.
and taking on Werner was a great deal of responsibility shown by Fabinho, and that just got him the man of the match, to be very
Right.
honest. And
Right.
I completely think he deserved that, hands down.
Mm. Mm. So I
Yeah,
mean, I agree to
like
that too. So I mean, Werner did not. I mean, Werner had a lot of runs. Werner was quick. Werner was fine. I mean, there was a particular moment in the game where he could have gone on to his left for a moment. His decision making in the final thirds there's a lot to improve for Werner, because I feel in the first 20-25 minutes there was a chance for Werner where he could have gotten even 2 to 3 steps further in the left and could have taken a shot, but he tried to cut back and improve. So those are the things. Those are the kind of things where you learn in Premier League. Just your pace is not enough. In Premier League, there are a lot of quality players in the Premier League to just have pace and get past them. So Werner was okay going forward, but he needs a lot of things to improve. And as I told Chelsea, from a Chelsea perspective, he was the only guy going forward. There was no link up play between him. We didn't have the creativity. Had we had that creativity or that number 10 role, we could have opened up the defense even better, is what I felt. So yes, that was a fair criticism of Werner, and I get it.
so. I just want to get the perspective of the both of you, or the three of you. So when you saw the red card,
Right.
uh, before they gave the red card,
Right.
so was it a red card tackle for you, or were you surprised when the ref gave him a yellow card? Like,
As a
I
Chelsea
thought it
fan,
was
I
a red
think
card.
it. As a
I thought
Chelsea
it was a
fan, I
straight red.
feel when
Yeah.
he gave an yellow, I was laughing my ass off because that's a red card tackle. There is no question. I mean, there was a fair criticism. There was a criticism of Kepa. So should he have come even further? To be fair to him, he did, and he thought Christensen would do the job, but he didn't, and he made a tackle, and that gave us the red card. So I feel that there is no question if it was a red card or not. So yeah, I feel that. What do you guys think? Otherwise,
So I think it was a clear. He denied a goal scoring opportunity, and on that
Yeah,
basis, it is clearly a red card for me. What is surprising for me is how can a referee, a Premier League referee, and how can Paul Terrini just outrightly not even think and then give an yellow card? That is something beyond. I don't understand that, because there is also another fact here. Paul Terrini on all his decisions since the restart has always been ruled out by the VAR. So this also happened to be one such decision, and that's not surprising. The quality of refereeing is not that great. The
yeah,
new handball rules are also very complicated. It's going to be a very tricky season for most of us.
but where I would like to give props to the ref is that he couldn't see. He didn't have the proper view. Like, he was running back from. He was like, he only looked at Mane and Christensen. He didn't know that who touched the ball, who's going to touch the
right,
ball first.
right,
All
right,
those things that we see on the television, he didn't have that.
right.
So I think it was okay that he gave the yellow card,
Mm.
because he knew that VAR would anyway have a look at it.
Right.
And if he had gone and watched it, VAR replay, and then if he had not given the red card, then we can slate him. But then he did make the right decision at the end of the day. So I think it's a great thing that they are looking at the television. Like, they're looking at the VAR images and footages, and then making a decision this season.
Right.
That's a great thing
I think
that's
going
happening
forward,
this
if
season.
this keeps happening, if the referee's decision keeps getting overturned, I think Premier League or the FA should be taking their considerable, decision as to if they have the proper referees for all the games. I mean, that is always always a criticism that all the managers have, because if all the decisions are getting overturned, so then the quality of the decision and the quality of referees is not Premier League level, because we boast ourselves saying Premier League is the best league in the world. If the best league in the world doesn't have the proper referees, then yeah, it's a huge trouble for all the teams and not just for a single team.
Yeah, we need to improve on that refereeing part for sure, the Premier League. And you guys were, Chelsea were really compact and they were holding their position and shape in the pitch till that red card moment.
Right.
So what do you think went wrong in that place? Like you guys are all up front attacking, and then just one long ball from Henderson and you guys are opened up.
I mean, if you see that play, for me as a Chelsea fan or even as a neutral fan, Zuma was in the perfect position for his defensive attributes, and Christensen was caught out. He was so wide and he let Mane run in between. So for me, it was a defensive error and it was an individual error by Christensen. So, and two individual errors cost us the game is what I'd probably say. And even after that, after we went to 10 men, I felt we still held our shape defensively well. We still nullified a lot of threat that Liverpool game, because they had a lot of shots. They had 12, 13 shots in the second half. And we still nullified to an extent, because what I think, if you compare this game to the City game that we had under Sarri, we had 11 players on the pitch and conceded 6 goals. And in this game, we had 10 players and conceded only 2 goals for the quality Liverpool had, and after bringing Thiago in the half time. So I felt defensively we were all right. Defensively we were all right throughout the game, but going forward we didn't have anything to give.
People always underrate Henderson. So that pass from Henderson was like absolute quality, right? Do you guys expect him to do that every time, or will he hold his place in the team, or will he be eased out for Thiago? I just want to know that.
So Henderson has always been an integral part, and it was very unlucky when he came across a knock yesterday. That's why Thiago had to come on. Klopp also mentioned that he didn't want to take any risk. He's always been an integral part, and he's always been a machine for Liverpool. He's always delivered when we need him the most, and we can never deny that fact. Also, we have to understand that Liverpool's midfield has a very, very big squad depth. So they have a lot of depth where they can use a lot of different players for different competitions. That's why we have to understand. There are few players who are going to be played for a few games and few players who are not going to be played for a few games, and that's the reality of the situation and how the different leagues progress. But I think Henderson and Thiago will be chosen over the rest, because they have. I mean, Thiago is a world-class midfielder, and I think he proved that yesterday.
Right.
Just coming 2 days prior and training for a day and playing for a half and breaking records. I think that was some immense and impressive football by Thiago, and I think everybody saw that. Right. And I believe that Henderson and Thiago will start a lot of games.
Right.
Yeah, together. I mean, like when you see Thiago, like his game is so effortless, and I always felt that Liverpool lacked that plan B, that creative midfielder or the creation from the midfield who could just ping a pass and cut through lines with his brilliant passing. So, what do you think Thiago will bring to your team?
So, for me, the last season, as it progressed towards the end, we could see a lot of problems which we faced when we went forward. So one such problem was our dependency on the fullbacks. So ever since we started, ever since we played Atletico Madrid, all the teams analyze our fullbacks really well, and they try to shut down the flanks. So the balls which Robbo and Trent they start crossing in, and all that was reduced. So obviously Thiago is a centrally poised player, and his passes are very intricate, as Varun said. So he will bring to the team a kind of play, a third dimension to the team where you can create the game from the middle. So it breaks teams into 2 halves. It's actually useful for teams which defend in 2 blocks of 4. Burnley, West Brom, all these teams are going to be really difficult, especially in the festival period, because we are going to have a lot of games. And the leadership quality of Henderson and the experience that Thiago brings together, along with other attributes like Kepa, who can dribble through, Mane, pace, Salah's creativity. Firmino's not been firing off late, but I still feel that he can start over the rest of the forwards in the team because he reads the game really well, and his work rate is phenomenal. And as a false nine, as a different player, I think Firmino's role is not much appreciated by the fan base,
Yeah.
but that's okay. The manager rates him really well. That's all matters here.
Right.
So Henderson
Yeah,
and
people say-
Thiago are going to be pivotal here.
Right. So for me,
Yeah,
the only question I'd probably ask is, since now you've got a deep lying playmaker in the name of Thiago, do you think your fullbacks would ease a little bit, because you guys don't need to be creating that much, so you don't need to push them forward as much as you guys did in the lot of game. The scary thing for me is, even before Thiago, Liverpool never had a problems with the lower tier teams. You guys were still scoring 3 goals, 4 goals in all these games. But now that you got Thiago, do you think that Trent should and Robbo should have focus on the defensive attributes a little bit more?
It's not about they have to focus, like, for sure. It means that they're forward making runs. The runs which they make forward, they can have a look at that. They can have a spot check, and they can be rest assured that
Right.
even if we go forward, we can still come back, because the team is not completely dependent on our deliveries or our crosses, because entire gameplay is around the midfield. And if Klopp decides to play a 4-2-3-1, that's going to be really good for the midfield, and all the chances are going to come from the midfield.
Right.
So yeah, as you said, they can now focus a little bit more on defense, because since the restart, the fullbacks defending has not been that good. So it's time that they focus on that.
Was Gomez injured, or was it a tactical move by Klopp to not play him in that match?
So Matip is not match fit, and Gomez had a knock. So it was not a tactical decision. So it was a decision based on the injuries.
Oh, cool. So, because I felt that Fabinho had a great game, but I thought one person in the Chelsea team who should not have started this game was Kepa. I think Caballero should have started this season.
Everyone would
Because exactly, like, Kepa has been a liability to your defense.
Right.
Even if you bring like a world class defender, the confidence that guy does not have that right now.
Look,
Kepa does not have the
I'm not
confidence.
going to back Kepa at all. I'm not going to slate him entirely. He's still a Chelsea player. The only thing holding him and by not getting him sold in the transfer market is his 71 million value. We see him as an asset.
Yeah,
If
it's waste of
otherwise
money.
he would have been long gone last season, is what I feel, because they are trying to up his value. Because if you see his value in the market right now, it's 28 million, and he got it for 71 million. So there is no question that Kepa should not have started the game. But we can't also let him sit in the bench and have a huge price tag on his head, go away. They can't just write 71 million off like that.
I feel that's where Lampard shows his inexperience. He should have some balls, and he'll be like, no, I'm not going to play this guy because he's a liability. I don't care about the price tag. We need our team to be playing well. So do you think that Lampard being it's just like first season, like full season or something like that?
If you see the last season, I think he did that a lot. He started Caballero a lot in the last half of the season, and he did take a decision. Now that being a new season, we are in the second game of the season, and he wanted to give Kepa a fresh chance. So he tried to start from fresh, and I don't think so. We all expected Kepa. To be entirely honest, I told Kepa shouldn't have started, but we all expected Kepa to start the game. It's not like we didn't expect Kepa to start. So it's a fresh season, and he expected him to improve from what he did last season.
I never wanted Kai Havertz not to start. I wanted Kai Havertz, being his first season, to start in his preferable position, which is the camp.
Right.
You having Werner up front and not having Kai behind him to put that pass, it's actually kind of a criminal move that Lampard is doing right now, wasting that creativity.
No, I agree to it, and I take that fair criticism, because we also want Kai playing behind Werner. He doesn't. As I keep repeating myself, he doesn't trust Hudson much, and he doesn't want to put him immediately into the game after the injury he had last season, and he is coming from an injury. So I feel this is not the strongest Chelsea 11. We always have Ziyech and Pulisic on the bench, and we feel if they come, I think we might see a stronger 11. So yes, man. So we did not have a bright day, and we have brighter days ahead. But yesterday was a really, really dull day.
Yeah,
To
bro. Yeah, yes,
actually
exactly.
contribute to what Neil was saying, so I believe that even in the first game against Brighton,
Mm,
even though Chelsea were able to clinch a win, they were not exactly in lockstep. As
right,
in bringing in so many new players, they were not really
right,
they were not really gelling into the
right,
team. And I think that also carried on to this week, and that might take a while for them to get
right.
into their stride and actually play as a proper team, as a function as a unit.
Mm,
And like he said, Pulisic and ZH are not into the team fully yet, and maybe that might give Chelsea all the difference that they need.
right.
And talking about Kepa, the only thing I can say is that since his debut, he has been lacking, I think, some confidence, and
Right.
that is just led to him making a lot of errors,
Mm,
and that it is costing Chelsea. And I think Lampard has figured that out, and they have also acted on it. That
mm,
happened during the match.
mm.
The news came during the
Yeah.
match.
Chelsea team, like Liverpool, like pre-careers and after careers, like pre-Kepa and after Kepa, it might make a difference to Chelsea team a lot. Mendy signing is a good assurance and gives a fighting spot, is what everyone is saying around his transfer. He doesn't have his first spot in the team immediately. He doesn't come to the first team immediately, but I feel. I think he will start. I think he will start on most of the games for Chelsea. But what I feel is with the transfer of Mendy, we have not sorted the goalkeeping issue completely. We are just again going for a immediate buy in the market. I've seen his stats, and he is not exactly a sweeper keeper and playing from the back. And he is a good shot stopper from the box. He's a good shot stopper from outside the box, and any keeper apart from Kepa is an upgrade to us right now. So that's what I think we are going, and we've not sorted the issue yet. But at the moment, we might stop conceding these silly goals and what we've done in the Brighton game and what we did in the Liverpool game again. So I think it's an improvement to Kepa, but not sorted yet.
Yeah, Arvind, I
So
just want to ask something to you. So,
Mm,
you guys had a huge issue with the goalkeeping
mm,
and the defending part before Van Dijk and Allison came in. And you guys went and bought two of the best defenders and goalkeepers at that point. And do you think Chelsea are not doing that? Do you think they are investing on other places which are not actually more important to them at the moment? That should actually strengthen them.
um, yeah, to an extent, I agree to that because if you see if you compare last season, Chelsea were actually they were quite okay. They were doing well in terms of attack because they had Mason Mount, they had Giroud. I mean, Giroud is I rate Giroud more than Tammy Abraham. Okay, because he brings in a lot of things to the team. He's
Yeah.
able to give that hold up play. He's able to create chances. He's able to score goals. So to an extent, they were kind of sorted out in the attack. What they had to focus was on set pieces, conceding goals from set pieces, conceding silly goals, the ones which could be stopped by the keeper. Those were the kinds of area where Chelsea were weak. So in that aspect, they should have strengthened their defense.
right,
They should have prioritized making those big money signings in the defense and goalkeeping
right,
compared to the kind of signings they have made, like Kai Havertz and Timo Werner and all that, because they
right,
already their attacking unit is actually intact. All
right,
that they need to do was sort out their defense,
right,
and definitely Ben Chilwell is a good addition for them.
right,
And they should have. Thiago is also a good signing, Thiago Silva, but he brings a lot of experience, just like how our Thiago brings. But if you are going to go full on go challenge for the title, I think you need to be playing that level of football like how Man City and Liverpool play. They need to match that level of quality. Then you
right,
need to invest on a proper centre back
right,
like Koulibaly or someone like that.
right.
So I think yes, Chelsea could have prioritized strengthening the defense and at the back.
I get that fair credit. I get that. And I also think at the moment Chelsea have what, 5, 6 centre backs at our club, and we also signed what, 3 centre backs in this window. We being Thiago Silva on a free transfer, Malangsar on a free transfer, and Mabiumba, who no one talks about, and there is a huge rating going on for him. So I feel yes. So there is they've definitely given a thought about it and they've done something to it. And we might see them coming into the team. I think we might see Sarr, because I rate Sarr a really, really good centre back, and he's a left-footed centre back and a really, really good addition to our team. So I feel we are going to come and we are going to slowly ease him into the team after the loan. I don't know if he's loaned out yet, so I think he will.
Yeah, that's what I was actually coming to. I think he's loaned back again to his parent
He's
club.
not got any news on it, and it's like it's muted at the point. If he's not loaned back, then we might see either of the centre back being sold or loaned. Someone might be moving away from Chelsea. So yes, I get that, and we could have given that the first priority than going for all your midfield and your attackers first.
I swear you'll never see anything like this ever again.